Hi friends. In today's video, come along a slow morning with me, a morning where I lean on consistency, reverting back to old slow living practices, and embracing literal minutes of calm during this busy season of mine. You've got to see this. Watching me do my little routine? Don't ask, I don't know why this is on my Kindle screen. My go-to breakfast this week is frozen waffles, but these are the Kodiak protein waffles, so they do pack a punch and they keep me full. And I'm still going strong with the moon juice. I really love this stuff. I can no longer go a day without it. Just take a quick listen to this. So peaceful. Okay, I just had breakfast, as you saw. I also keep the door open these days. It has been really nice and cool in the morning, just in the morning for like the first hour. So I opened the back door up so I can get a little bit of fresh air and hear all of the nature that happens in our backyard, which there's so much nature happening back there. And I also have been not looking at my phone in the morning when I'm having breakfast, getting ready for the day, things like that. Just not at all, except for one thing, that is to check out like my Aura ring details or stats from the night before. So obviously I can't show you those details like physically right now because I'm recording using my phone, but I will put some of like screenshots or video recordings on the screen right now so that you can see what I'm about to tell you that I just read while I was having my breakfast. So the first thing that I go into in the Aura app is my readiness score. So my readiness score for today is 83, which means that it's good. And it says that my overall readiness is good, but my heart rate lowered really late last night. So I may be recovering from yesterday's activities still, which I do feel like is probably the case. Like I can definitely feel that. And then it says to maybe do something relaxing today. I am going to definitely try my best, especially throughout this video, but also throughout the rest of the day because I have had such a hectic week. And then the next thing that I go into in there is my sleep score. There's a bunch of other details that I go into, but these are the two biggest ones. And it says my sleep score is 85, which is optimal. It says I slept for 8 hours and 4 minutes, and the details all look pretty good, as you can see, but the only bad thing is my REM sleep, and that has been consistent ever since I've gotten the Aura ring, but also it has been consistent always, even with my Fitbit and my watch tracking and all of that. I've just always had bad REM sleep and I don't know how to fix it, and I have a theory that it's really bad because I wake up in the midst of my REM stage while I'm sleeping, because that's when I wake up to say goodbye to Ian when he gets ready to leave for work. So I have a feeling that's why I always consistently have bad REM. Why do I think that? When I was looking at the charts in my Aura ring, I saw that my REM stage was happening right at that very moment when I wake up, which is like around 5:40, 5:30 something. But yeah, I check that. That's the only thing that I check on my phone. And then of course, after I have breakfast, I go into my morning pages. I do this 3 pages of just free handwriting, and then I go back into this journal. I only have this journal out to share with you my Aura stuff, but I'll go back into this journal and share with you what I have going on today. Okay, morning pages are done. I just took a look in my journal, and what I pretty much have going on today is one thing. It is to film and edit this YouTube video, and I did that on purpose. I've talked about this before, but usually when I have a really hectic, busy week, I try to divvy up all of the tasks that I have in a given week to pace myself. So some days are going to be busier than others, and as you can probably see from my journal, you know, the earlier part of this week was quite busy because I stacked a bunch of stuff there, but past me knew that at this given point in the week I would start to get overwhelmed. So today I pretty much have a low-key day in comparison to the previous days, and I am going to once again try to relax as much as I possibly can today. with this one task that I have, in addition to, you know, my usual 9 to 5 tasks and things like that. So that's the focus for today. I think we can go into the office now. Okay, I am in the office now. I am just about to get started with my workday, but before I do that, I wanted to talk about a slow living practice that I have reverted back to very recently, only in the past couple of weeks or so, and that is reading for 10 minutes every single morning. Now, you all know that I used to do this pretty religiously. It was part of my slow living morning routine, much as what you see in this video. A lot of things are pretty consistent, but I stopped because I started practicing this hobby, reading in general, for longer stretches of time throughout my day more frequently. So I didn't necessarily need to read for 10 minutes every single morning because I was picking the book up and reading just whenever I felt like it, as opposed to something more structured with reading 10 minutes every single morning that I needed. Otherwise, I wouldn't prioritize it. I've talked a lot about this in my Slow Living for Busy People series, if you've seen any of those videos. The reason why I very recently reinstated it into my slow living morning routine is because I have been in a very busy season. Things have just been so hectic. I've had so much to do, and I am really, really busy in the beginning and middle part of my day. And so by the end of the day, I'm so exhausted that I don't have the energy to do anything. I kind of just want to sit around and recuperate after having a hectic day, hectic week. So I have been forcing myself to read for 10 minutes every single morning, forcing in the most delicate way. Like, I am encouraging myself to read for 10 minutes every single day through this busy season to ensure that I'm still practicing something that brings me joy. And not gonna lie, it's tricky, it's hard, and I find myself wanting to take these extra 10 minutes that I have in the morning before work starts and just jump into it so that I can get my to-do list finished faster so that I can, you know, relax earlier at the end of the day. But in reality, that never happens. I still end up being busy and I still end up working throughout the time that I need to work for. So it doesn't do me any good. And very recently, I do have to give some credit to my Aura Ring for this, which is interesting. This video didn't mean to be so enthusiastic about the Aura Ring, but very recently I was checking my morning report. I'm calling it my morning report, but I was checking it and it was saying, like, you know, you've been pretty stressed and your levels are high still, like you're stressed, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. And I know this is exactly the tips that I share with other people, but the Aura Ring was telling me, even if you have a couple of minutes, use those couple of minutes to relax and do something like meditation or anything relaxing, because even those couple of minutes at the start of the day are going to make a massive impact on your overall like stress levels, and it will help you in the long run to be more productive throughout the day. It's so strange hearing that from someone else, because I know that I say that to a bunch of people all the time, especially in my Slow Living for Busy People videos. So I know it's ironic for me to say that when I say that to other people, but sometimes I do really need the reminder, especially when I'm so overwhelmed with a massive to-do list. So just another reminder to you, another reminder to myself, that even though I have 10 minutes and I can just jump into things right now and just get to it, I'm gonna take these 10 minutes and read and slow down, because it is true. I have been much more productive when I take this moment to do something for myself, which is reading. Quick reading update. I don't know why there's a strange man on the cover of, I really should take off the ads on my Kindle. I hear you can do it for free if you contact them, but reading update. I'm currently reading, let's see, Summer Rental, a gripping psychological thriller. That's the name of the book. I can't remember the author at the top of my head, but I just started this not too long, a couple of days ago, and it's going to be my final summer read for the season. We're in August, and I'm thinking if I finish this book in August, I can get straight into my cozy fall Halloween-y type of reads come September. So this one is going really well so far. It's starting off very much like your standard, I don't know, summer slasher where there's a bunch of teenagers acting reckless and dumb. And then I'm now getting into the part of the book where things are getting, I don't know, creepy. So we'll see how this goes. I just recently finished Don't Look in the Trees. It was a novella, so it was only like 78 pages or so. Don't read it. Absolutely horrible. Anyway, I'm going to read and then get to it. Okay, I think it is time for coffee. I have been making a lot of iced Americanos lately because that's what the ingredients I have for, so we're gonna make that today. Okay, we start off with getting those beans ground. Then I use this tool over here, and this just distributes the grounds really well. I'm actually going to do this over the sink because it makes a mess, but it essentially just goes like that, and it aerates and distributes the grounds really well. Kind of looks like that. I hope you can see that. It seems like a little detail that's not important, but it is definitely important. I have been learning. Then I just take the tamper and get this down really well. I've noticed that I haven't been doing this strong enough. I've just been really weak with my wrists, and it's causing my machine to not work properly. I don't know if you remember from previous vlogs, this whole entire piece right here would fall out of the espresso machine because I wasn't packing the espresso tight enough, and then I wasn't putting it into the machine tight enough, and so everything was just way too loose, not working properly. Anyway, oh goodness gracious, that is very hard for my weak hands. Okay, but I got it in there. Espresso has been brewed. We just start with some ice and cold water. I just get this water from my fridge, and then we throw in our espresso. I do a double shot of espresso, and that's the Americano really, and you can leave it at that, but I do add a creamer. This is the creamer that I've been using. You all know I love Califia. This one is the caramel macchiato, and I do think it tastes good, especially in an Americano. Just a little tiny splash, and then I give it a whirl, and that's it. An iced Americano with a splash of creamer. Let's take this outside for a sec. This is actually kind of funny because I thought it was going to be quiet outside, but there are people doing their lawns and stuff, so you may probably hear background noise. But it is still, generally speaking, nice and peaceful and quiet. I can still hear the birds chirping. I can still hear the crickets, actually, from the night before. I don't actually know. Are they nocturnal? That's a good question. Anyway, I did want to kind of like stand outside for a little bit and just get some fresh air, to be honest with you, because I have not been outside simply to enjoy it, especially the fresh air, in the morning times recently, because I've just been, like I said, been getting straight into work after I do my 10 minutes of reading, and so I miss doing this. I miss those vlogs a couple of months ago where I would just sit out here, enjoy the fresh air, the breeze, the nature, and do some of my reading or check out my garden and stuff like that. It's just been really busy. And I wanted to be realistic about that in this video and just with you in general, because I do know that slow living content online can be very glamorized, can feel very unattainable and unrealistic and inaccessible because of that glamorization. But in reality, we all have busy moments. We all have moments where we forget those reminders, those slow living reminders and practices, and that's just the way life goes. Things go in ebbs and flows, and we have to kind of learn to work with that and make changes, make adjustments as the days go on, as the weeks go on, and we start to identify and understand when we're in an ebb, when we're in a flow, if that makes sense. Right now I'm in a busy season, but I anticipate, I hope, that I will be coming into some really nice, restful, and restorative times, especially as fall comes along, because I think what I'm going to try and do is schedule just me time as we approach the beginning of fall, One, because I love fall and I want to embrace it in the way that I love it the most, but two, it is coming down to my birthday, and if there's no other time during the year to prioritize myself just for the sake of it, it's gonna be during my birthday time, especially this one. This is a milestone birthday for me this year, so yeah. So I think I'm gonna end the video off here. I'm gonna finish my coffee and just stand out here, maybe sit for a little bit and finish it up and just embrace this, because this feels really good for me right now, and then I will get back to work. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you for coming along this little moment, this little busy morning, even though I hope that I didn't encapsulate the busy part of this morning. I hope I encapsulated the parts of peace and quiet that I'm trying to instill in the midst of my busy day. Riley is clawing at the screen over there because she wants to come out, or she just wants my attention. But thank you so much once again, and I will talk to you in next week's video.